mean, you are. Am I wrong here? You are religious in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to bring this up in this day and age when people go, "No, I'm not religious. I'm only spiritual." Moments where I was on stage receiving an award in front of my peers in Hollywood, and there were people in the crowd that I have prayed with before dinners many times. And when I thank God, I saw some of those people go to clap, but then notice that, whoa, this could be a bad thing on my resume, and then sit back on their hands.
As Christians, it should excite us that an A-list actor like Matthew McConaughey is bold enough to proclaim his faith publicly to a watching world. But why does it require so much faith to be bold? After all, isn't Hollywood the most loving and accepting place on earth? And isn't Christianity the most popular religion in the world? As someone who lived in Hollywood for a season of my life, I can relate on a much smaller scale to what Matthew McConaughey is talking about here on the Joe Rogan podcast. To make any religious claims in Hollywood is looked at as you being an intolerant, exclusive bully. And I like that Matthew McConaughey distinguished between the two terms religious and spiritual. In Hollywood, it's okay to be spiritual, but it's not okay to be religious. Because to be spiritual means you are open-minded and free to think however you please. But to say you are religious implies that you live by certain principles. And Hollywood doesn't like principles because principles limit them from being able to express themselves. Hollywood appears to be this loving and accepting environment. But if you don't conform to their beliefs, they will bully you into complete silence. So what are two things Christians can remember when facing backlash like Matthew McConaughey is talking about here? Number one, Christians need to fear God more than they fear being canceled by man. Many young Christians are afraid to be open about their faith in secular settings because they don't want to come off as if they are trying to exercise some kind of moral superiority over others. But if secular people accuse you of doing that, then don't back down, because if you don't conform to their views, then they are exercising moral superiority over you. In other words, the very thing they are accusing you of, they will do to you if you don't surrender to their beliefs. Which leads me to my second point, which is that truth by definition is exclusive. Opposite ideas cannot both be true at the same time and in the same sense. And so many of Hollywood's beliefs contradict one another, and this results in an inconsistent lifestyle. For example, many secular people think that truth doesn't exist. But by claiming truth doesn't exist, they are making an objective truth claim. The ideology is self-defeating. So Christians should be confident in knowing that our worldview is not built on the foundation of a self-refuting claim and should walk confidently in the consistency of the Christian worldview. Now, I don't exactly know where Matthew McConaughey stands in various areas of his faith, but Christians should show support for those who are willing to risk their platforms for the sake of the gospel. So props to Matthew McConaughey for being open, and hopefully we will hear more from him in the near future as it relates to his walk with God.